Hi students, we continue with simultaneous linear equations. This is a new type of sum. Mark it important because first time when you learn anything, if you don't learn the different types, then you will probably be unable to solve it when it comes in the exam. Nothing to be confused about, it is the same thing like it was the earlier sums. What we are going to do is we are going to make the coefficients same. See, there are two things. Here in the denominator x plus y is there and x minus y is there. In the question, x minus y was given first and x plus y was given, this term was second. I have just interchanged it. It doesn't make any difference. I have written minus 15x plus y because I am writing the x plus y terms one below the other. And the x minus y terms I am writing one below the other. So be careful that you have to equate the coefficients. So in this case, I will multiply this with 3 so that it becomes 60 and this with 4 so that this also becomes 60 and minus sign. So obviously I can't multiply only this number by 3. I will have to multiply the entire equation each term by 3. So it becomes 60 upon x plus y plus 9 upon x minus y equal to 21. That is equation 3. And second one, I have to multiply each and every term with 4 with the number 4 so that this also becomes 60 and you get a minus sign. Minus 60 upon x plus y plus 32 upon x minus y is equal to 20. So once I do that, now the coefficients are the same. So this term minus this term has become 0. So there is nothing here, which means it is 0. And then these two terms, just like you normally add, you will add the numerators. LCM is x minus y. So you get 32 plus 9, that is 41. 41 x minus y is equal to 41. So if I shift 41 down here and move x minus y out there, it becomes x minus y is equal to 1. Now if we substitute this x minus y equal to 1 in equation 1, so then this will become 3 and that 3 I shift there, so it will become 20 upon x plus y is 7 minus 3. So 20 upon x plus y is equal to 7 minus 3, that is 4, that 4 comes on the denominator, x plus y is shifted there. So 20 upon 4 is 5, x plus y is 5, that is equation number 6. And the other equation that you have already got is x minus y is equal to 1, that is equation 5. So you have not two very simple equations instead of this in which they were in the denominator and denominator LCM is different. So now these two equations you can directly solve by adding equation 6 and 5. So you get 2x, this is 0, is equal to 6. So x is equal to 3. So when you substitute x is equal to 3, you substitute it in the simple equation. That is in equation 6. So you will get y equal to 2. So answer will be x is equal to 3 and y equal to 2. This is a typical method of solving such a sum. Nothing different. What did you do? You just made sure that x plus y and x plus y are written one below the other. X minus y and x minus y are written one below the other. And you have just substituted, that is multiplied this by 3 and this first equation by 3 and second equation by 4 so that you have the same coefficient for x plus y. Then we added these two so that this became 0. So you got one simple equation which you wrote it as x minus y is 1. So that x minus y out here you substituted and you got the second equation x plus y is equal to 5. So then these two simple equations 5 and 6 you solve to get x and y. This is a standard method. The next sum is also in the same method. Quite a similar sum like what you just did now, previous sum, the 9 sum. Again x minus y in the denominator, the first terms arranged one below the other, and the second term x plus y and x plus y in the denominator, arrange one below the other. So we have written the first and second equation as it is given in the question. So now we have to multiply this first equation by 4 and second equation by 3. So that when you multiply first equation by 4, this becomes 120, and second equation when we multiply by 3, this becomes 120. So both of them, once they are 120, we can minus them. So then we can do an equation 3 minus equation 4. So you get 4 into 4, so 120 plus 176 is equal to 40. This denominator and this denominator as they were. And the second term you have multiplied it by 3, so it is 120 upon x minus y. This becomes 165 upon x plus y is equal to 39. So entire thing multiplied by 3. Now these both are exactly identical terms, 120 upon x minus y, 120 upon x minus y. So since it was the plus sign, we minus, so it's equation 3 minus equation 4. So when you do equation 3 minus 4, all the signs will change. So it will become 0, 176 minus 165 is 11. Denominator remains same, x plus y. And there it is 40 minus 39, that is 1. So you get x plus y equal to 11, that is equation number 5. Then you have to substitute x plus y is equal to 11 in equation 1. So therefore you will get 30 upon x minus y plus 4. 44 upon 11 will be 4 equal to 10. So the 4 can be shifted on the other side, it will become 6. So 30 upon x minus y is equal to 6. So 6 on the denominator, x minus y is equal to 5. And the first equation was x plus y is equal to 11. So we are solving fifth and the sixth equation. So therefore now just add the 2 because already the sign difference is there. So 2x plus 0 is equal to 16, x is equal to 8. So now once we substitute x is equal to 8, you can substitute here, you will get y equal to 3. That's how you solve such equation. Once you do it a couple of times, this first part of the chapter is very simple. So you can easily solve it. Next question. Again, I rewrote the second equation. I wrote 3y plus 3x plus 4y term first so that it is one below the other. And the second term, the first term I wrote it second so that 3x minus 2y is also one below the other. Now if you look at this and this equation, if I multiply 8.5 with 4, I get 34. So therefore this second equation I multiplied throughout by the number 4. So when I do that, I get minus 34 plus 100 is equal to 18, and the denominators this and this remain as they are. Now the fourth equation, this is actually just the first equation rewritten. It's the same thing. So actually you could have called it as equation 1, no problem even if you call it as 4. This is the exact same equation that is rewritten down. Now when you look at the terms, you can get rid of both of this. Signs are opposite, so you just have to add 3 and 4. So equation 3 plus equation 4 will give you 0. This gives you 115 upon 3x minus 2y. That is equal to 23. And when you get 23 below 115, it will become 5. 115 upon 23 is 5. And 3x minus 2y can be shifted on the other side. So you have 3x minus 2y is 5. That is a simplified equation. Now you substitute 3x minus 2y is 5 here. This will become 15 upon 5, which is 3. When you shift it to the other side, it becomes 5 minus 3, that is 2. So 34 upon 3x plus 4y is equal to 2. So now you shift the 2 here and 3x plus 4y on the other side. So you get 3x plus 4y is equal to 17. And the other simple equation, you had got equation 5. 3x minus 2y is 5, that is rewritten there. Now we can solve these two. This is the same coefficient, so no need to multiply anything. So 3x, 3x, that will get cancelled when you do a minus. The sign will change for each of the terms when you do equation 6 minus equation 5. So all of the three signs will change, plus became minus, minus will become plus, and here the plus becomes minus. So it becomes 0 plus 6y equal to 12. So y is equal to 12 upon 6, which is 2. So once you have found y is equal to 2, you can substitute it in equation 6. So you will get 3x plus 4 times 2 is 17. So 3x is 9 or x is 3. So you got x is 3 and y is 2, which is the final answer. In all these equations, solve means find the values of x and y. See students, now we are starting with the third and last method of solving sums and finding the values of x and y. So first thing, in this equation will be given in the form a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0. And the second equation will be a2x plus b2y plus c2 is 0. Remember, both the equations you have written equal to 0, means even if this term was on the other side, you have to bring it on this side and write equal to 0, and then only we can see what is a1, b1, c1 and what is a2, b2, c2. Now, in order to remember this formula, some of you will directly mark up these formulas and then you will find. But then easy way to remember it, you can remember BCAB, BCAB. For remembering BCAB, you can remember it as before Christ, Adam born. So if you remember the first words of that, before Christ, Adam born, then you can write BCAB. Put number 1 on the first part. BCAB again, put number 2 on the second part. So first, then you have to cross multiply like this. First two equations you have paired it. You have paired these two. And you have written x upon b1c2 minus b2c1. Then you have paired the next set of two, which includes the second and the third one. So you have written y upon c1a2 minus c2a1. And the last, you have made the third pair, that is of these terms, and you have written it as, the last one is 1 upon, so the last one you have written it as 1 upon a1 b2 minus a2 b1. See, the first time when you do it, you have to do it carefully. Once you have done 3-4 sums on this, then it becomes simple. And we would never tell you to do cross multiplication method unless the question asks you cross multiplication. Otherwise, eliminating by equating coefficients or substitution is far simpler. But this method, if the question gives you find by cross multiplication, and if you do substitution or elimination, then you will be given 0 marks for that. So if cross multiplication is asked, then you have to use this method. And either you by heart this formula, or easy way to remember it, before Christ, Adam born, before Christ, Adam born. On the first line you write 1, 1, 1, 1. On the second line you write B 2, 2, 2, 2. Then first two, second and third and fourth, you pair the terms. So it is x b1 c2 minus b2 c1, y upon c1 a2 minus c2 a1, and 1 upon a1 b2 minus a2 b1. So once you are going this way, you will have to always start this way itself. You can't do the reverse way because then the sign will be wrong. So now your first question is, in your book, question number 11.1. 2x minus 3y plus 8 is equal to 0. So this is given in the form you require it. a1x plus b1y plus c1 is 0. So now you have to compare x and x term, you compare, so you will get a1 is equal to 2. Y and y term you will compare, so you will get what is before y here, it is plus b1, and here in front of y is minus 3. So you will get plus b1 is equal to minus 3, or b1 is minus 3, and the last constant term is 8, and here it is c1. So you will get c1 is equal to 8. So a1 is equal to 2, b1 is equal to minus 3, and c1 is equal to 8. And that is how you write what is this a1, b1, c1. I hope you are clear. This was the given equation. This is the first equation in this form, in which we are going to use this formula. So you are comparing the coefficient. X ka coefficient is a1 here. Here it is 2. So a1 is equal to 2. b1y minus 3y. So b1 is equal to minus 3. And c1 is equal to 8. And then you have the second equation, 3x plus y plus 1 is 0. So again it is in the form, you have written it in the same form, that is equal to 0. All the terms are on the left hand side, on the right hand side you have only 0. Now compare this equation with the second one. a2x plus b2y plus c2 is 0. So x and x, so coefficient is a2 and 3. So a2 is equal to 3 or plus 3. b2y, here it is just y, means in front of y it is 1. It is actually 1y, it is not 0. So your b2 is equal to 1. And c2, and on top it is plus 1. So c2 is equal to 1. So now we are using the cross multiplication method formula, which I had told you how to write it. X upon b1 c2 minus b2 c1 equal to y upon c1 a2 minus c2 a1 and 1 upon a1 b2 minus a2 b1. So you can remember this by this method as I explained it. So now x you don't know, y you don't know, you have to find. The third one is 1. So x upon b1, where is b1? You have to have patience in this sum because it is little lengthy method and it is using all this formula. So b1 is minus 3. c2 is 1. So minus 3 into 1 minus, this is the minus sign for this, b2 is 1. c1 is 8 equal to y upon c1 a2. c1 is given here 8. a2 is 3 minus c2 a1. c2 is 1 and a1 is 2. 1 into 2 equal to 1 upon a1 b2. a1 is 2. b2 is 1, so 2 into 1 minus a2 b1. So a2 is 3 and b1 is here minus 3. So minus 3 into minus 3 will give you plus. So 2 plus 9, that is 11. This will be 24 minus 2, that is 22. Minus 3 minus 8, that is minus 11. So now here we have to make two equations with this. So with this you can say that this and this are equal. So x upon minus 11 equal to 1 upon 11. And you can also say that this is equal to the constant term, that is y upon 22 is equal to 1 upon 11. So there are two separate equal to's which we have used, and from this you will get x is minus 11 upon 11 minus 1 and y is 22 upon 11, which is 2. So this method is cross multiplication method. Last year in the final exam this method was asked, so you can't avoid learning it. If it comes in section 1, it's a compulsory section. There is a model paper given at the back of your Anish tutorial book that clearly any question can come in section 1. So you have to learn this method. If it is mentioned cross multiplication method, do it with this method. Now students, the next sum actually is given in the form 4x minus y equal to 5. But I told you can't write equal to 5. Instead you will have to write 4x minus y minus 5 equal to 0. It is compulsory to do this because only then we can compare with a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0. So x ka coefficient here is 4, here it's a1, so a1 is 4. Y coefficient is minus 1 and here it is b1, so b1 is minus 1 and c1 is minus 5. So you have got a1 4, b1 minus 1 and c1 minus 5. Similarly, the second equation was given as 5y minus 4x is equal to 7. So we have to not only shift 7 on the other side of equal to, but we have to write minus 4x first, 5y second, and minus 7 equal to 0. So it has to be written in the form a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. So comparing, you will get a2 is equal to minus 4, b2 is equal to 5, and c2 is equal to minus 7. So this is what you will get from the second equation. Now, I frankly have not by hearted the formula. So I have to write BCAB. Before Christ, Aaron born, BCAB. Number 1 on the first line and number 2 on the second line. Then I am pairing 2, the next 2 and the third 2. So x upon b1 c2 minus b2 c1 equal to y upon c1 a2 minus c2 a1 equal to 1 upon a1 b2 minus a2 b1. So those values we have to substitute. X upon b1 is, you have written b1 as minus 1. Then you have the next term, that is c2. c2 is minus 7. Y upon c1. So your c1 is minus 5. So your c1 into a2. a2 is minus 4. So b2 c1 it was, b2 c1. So b2 is 5 and c1 is minus 5. So this will become 7 and this will become plus. So 7 plus 25x upon 32. Now y term c1 a2 minus c2 a1, c1 minus 5, a2 is minus 4, that is written there, minus c2 minus 7, and a1 is 4. So that is minus c2 a1. And then you have the last term, that is a1 b2. a1 into b2, a1 is 4 and b2 is 5. And then minus of a2 is minus 4 and b1 is minus 1. So therefore you will get it as y upon minus plus 20. Here also minus plus 28 and 20. This is plus, then minus sign is also there. So 20 minus 4. So this will become y upon 48 and 1 upon 16. So this is minus. So that should be minus, so it is plus. So it will become plus 28. So therefore, x upon 32, you can equate it with 1 upon 16, and y upon 48, again that is also to be equated with 1 upon 16. So when you cross multiply x upon x is equal to 32 upon 16 or 2 and y is equal to 48 upon 16, which is 3. So this is the solution to the second sum. First, ensure that your equation is written in this form. That means equal to 0. Both the equations should be written in that form so that then you can compare what is A1, B1, C1 and A2, B2, C2. After that, here you should have a lot of patience to see what is A1, B1, C1 and A2, B2, C2 and write it without any error in plus minus sign. Otherwise your entire sum will go wrong. So copy this, we go on to the third sum. So again in the third sum, you will rewrite it in the form 0.4x minus 1.5y minus 6.5 equal to 0. I told you many times it has to be in this form equal to 0. You can't write the 6.5 there, then the comparison will be wrong. So 6.5 has to be shifted here, it will become minus 6.5. After that you compare with a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0. So your a1 is plus 0.4, b1 is minus 1.5 and c1 is minus 6.5. Now same way the second equation given there. Now that also you compare with a2x plus b2y plus c2 is 0. So your a2 will be 0.3. B2 will be also 0.2 and C2 will be with minus sign 0.9. Ensure that it is written in the form equal to 0. So then the standard form I told you, before Christ Adam born, before Christ Adam born. So number 1 given on the first line, number 2 given on the second line. B1 C2 minus B2 C1. C1 A2 minus C2 A1. And the last one is A1 B2 minus A2 B1. Then what you're left is to substitute. So that you don't have to search, you highlight this. A1 B1 C1 A2 B2 C2. That line highlight and see if you have a big handwriting after each line, leave a line. So that nothing gets confused or mixed up. Many times I've seen that the minus sign is not put properly. So when you write the next step, you forget that was minus and you take it as plus. So be careful on those things. So B1 C2, B1 into C2. So those values have been substituted. Minus B2 C1, B2 and C1 minus. So this will become minus into minus plus. 1.15 into 9 is 135, 2 decimals are there. So 1.35. 65 into 2 is 130, 2 decimals are there, so 1.3. And again plus. So x upon 2.65. Y upon C1, which is given here, and A2, which is given here. So C1 into A2 minus C2, that is minus 0.9. And A1 which is 0.4. So it becomes y upon, this becomes 195, so 2 decimal, so 1.95 with minus sign. This is minus of minus, so plus 36 and 2 decimals 0.36. So when you add, you get minus 1.59. And the last term 1 upon A1 0.4 and B2 0.2 minus this minus sign, A2 which is 0.3 and B1 which is minus 1.5. So this becomes 8 but 2 decimals, so 0.08. And this becomes 45 with 2 decimals, so 0.45. So it becomes 1 upon 0.53. Then pair the first and the last. So you will get x upon 2.65 is 1 upon 0.53. So x becomes 5. And y upon minus 1.59, 1 upon 0.53. So y becomes minus 3. So answer x is 5 and y is minus 3. So now we will do the last sum. See, now this question, you have got x and y in the denominator. But nothing to worry, we will replace 1 by x is equal to u and 1 by y we will write it as v. So the equation will become 2 into u plus 3v minus 5 is 0. So this is our standard form and we are comparing now with a1u plus b1v plus c1 is 0. Usually it is a1x plus b1y. But now we have to write it as per the substitutions. So you will get a1 is equal to 2, b1 is equal to 3 and c1 is equal to minus 5. So that I have highlighted because that will be used in the formula. Same way the second equation also I have to write it as equal to 0. So 3 by x, instead of x, 1 by x we wrote u. And instead of 1 by y we wrote v, so minus 1v or just minus v. Plus 9 is 0. So now you compare it with a2u plus b2v plus c2 is 0. Usually when the expression was in terms of x and y, we wrote comparing with a1x plus b1y plus c1 is 0. But now the expression is with respect to u and v, so write that. So here a2 is 3, b2 is minus 1 and c2 is 9. So this is the standard formula and then you have to write it the way we had told, b1 c2 minus b2 c1 v upon c1 a2 minus c2 a1 and 1 upon a1 b2 minus a2 b1. So the order has to be maintained, that is if we have taken b1 c2 minus b2 c1 then every time it should be going the same way, that is v upon c1 into a2 minus c2 into a1. You can't reverse this here because then there will be a difference in the sign and you will get wrong sign. So u upon your b1 is 3, your c2 is 9 minus b2 is minus 1 and c1 was minus 5. So that way you will get u upon 27 minus 5, which is u upon 22. Same way v, substitute the given values, you will get v upon minus 33 and 1 upon, substitute the values, you will get 1 upon minus 11. So we equate these two, u upon 22 is minus 1 by 11 or u is minus 2. But you never had a u in the given equation in the question. So you will have to resubstitute, don't forget this. So 1 upon x is minus 2 or x will be minus 1 by 2. So that is the value of x. And same way, once you have got v is equal to plus 3, your v you had taken as 1 by y. So 1 by y is 3, so y is 1 by 3. So this is how you do this sum. The last homework sum is the same method. So copy this all in your notebook. We stop there today. Bye. The word problems, we are starting with the word problems on page 29. Generally in the boards, very simple, straightforward these word problems are asked. They do not ask any complicated sums. We have broken down the first few sums are very general and simple sums, the question 1 to 11. After that there are age related problems and 2-digit number related problems, speed time related problems. So we will do it in parts. The first question is twice one number minus 3 times the second number equal to 2. So we are taking the two numbers is x and y. So first number is x and second number is y. So 2 times x minus 3 times y equal to 2. That is the first equation. And the sum of the two numbers, so x plus y equal to 11. That's the second equation. All that is there in this sums is for you to frame the equation as per the given condition. Once you have done this, then the sum is same like any simultaneous equation. And in this no one will tell you that you have to use cross multiplication or substitution or elimination. Generally, we equate the coefficients and eliminate the coefficients. So here, since there is a 2x and here it is x, so I can multiply second equation throughout by the number 2. Or I can even multiply it by the number 3 and get rid of y. So I have done a multiplication of equation 1 by number 2. So when equation 2 is multiplied by number 2, you get 2x plus 2y is 22. So this is equation 2 into 2. This gives you 2x plus 2y is 22. Then rewritten equation 1 just below that is 2x minus 3y is equal to 2. You can call it as 3 or you can even 4 or you can even retain the number as 1 because it's just the same equation. So now when you minus this and this, you will get 5y equal to 20 or y is equal to 4. So once you have got y, you can substitute y is 4 in the second equation, which is the simplest, so you will get x is equal to 11. So in this sum you are asked both the numbers. So the two numbers, the first number has to be written first, that is 7, and the second number is y, that is 4. Now we go on to the second sum. A man buys postage stamps of denominations 25 paise and 50 paise for rupees 10. So some 25 paise stamps he bought and some 50 paise stamps he bought, and the total money he spent in buying those stamps is 10 rupees. So now first thing and the most common mistake is the stamps money is given in paise and the total amount is given in rupee. So that can't be the case. So you have to multiply 10 rupee. Each rupee has 100 paise. So 10 rupees will be 1000 paise. So therefore you can say let the number of 25 paise stamps be x and let the number of 50 paise stamps be y. So 25x plus 50y is equal to 1000. Instead of writing 10 rupees, we write 1000. Because this is in paise, this is in paise, this also should be in paise. You can't have one side in paise and the other side in rupee. It's very clear, it's very simple. Let's say you have 10 rupee and 20 rupee notes. Like you have 5 20 rupee notes. So what's the total amount that you have in terms of 20 rupee note? 5 into 20, so 100 rupees. And let's say you have 15 10 rupee notes. So 10 rupee total amount what you have is 150. So total of that 5 into 20 plus 15 into rupee 10 will give you 250. Same way here for stamps, 25 paise x stamps and 50 paise y stamps, that will be the total money, that is rupees 10, which is converted to paise. Now to simplify this is a bigger number, so we can divide the entire equation by 25. So x plus 2y is equal to 40, that is equation number 2. Next you are given that he buys 28 stamps in all. In this the value of the stamps are not considered. He's bought some 25 paise and some 50 paise stamps. Total both together is 28 stamps. So x plus y, number of 25 paise stamps plus number of 50 paise stamp is equal to 28. Now here already x is having the same coefficient 1. So we can remove that by doing equation 2 minus equation 3. So x minus x is 0, 2y minus y is y, and 40 minus 28 is 12. So y equal to 12. If you substitute y equal to 12 in this equation, you will get x is equal to 16. In this question, they have clearly asked find the number of 25 paise stamps that he bought. So that is x. Number of 25 paise stamps he brought is x. So we are writing only that in the final answer. So we go on to the third sum. Third question says, if the numerator and denominator of a fraction are increased by 2 and 1 respectively, then it becomes 3 by 4. So first of all, we have to assume a fraction. Let the fraction be x upon y. So numerator is x and denominator is y. So in this fraction, the numerator is x and denominator is y. As per the sum you are given, first case, if the numerator is increased by 2, so x plus 2, and the denominator of the fraction is increased by 1, so y plus 1, then the fraction becomes 3 by 4. So if you cross multiply, you will get 4x minus 3y is equal to minus 5. So that would be the first equation. 4x minus 3y is minus 5. Now second case, they have given if the numerator and denominator are decreased by 2 and 1 respectively. So numerator minus 2 and denominator minus 1. Then the fraction becomes half, 1 by 2. So again cross multiply, you will get the second equation as 2x minus y equal to 3. That's the second equation. So now you have to solve this and this. You can multiply either by 3 or you can multiply second equation by 2 so that it becomes 4x. So either way you can do it. So you have got the equation 1 remaining as it is. Equation 2 I have multiplied by the number 3. So 6x minus 3y is equal to 9. Then we eliminate the y by subtracting equation 3 minus equation 1. So it becomes 2x, this is 0, is equal to 14, or x is equal to 7. So the numerator we have got, it is 7. Now we can substitute that in any equation, let's say equation 1. So it is 4 into 7 minus 3y is minus 5. On solving that, we get y equal to 11. So they have not asked you separately what is the numerator and denominator. They have asked you what is the fraction. So the original fraction is x by y. So it is 7 upon 11. So the original fraction is 7 upon 11. Now fourth sum. In the fourth sum they say at a certain time in a deer park, the number of heads and the number of legs of deer and human visitors were counted, and it was found that there were 41 heads. It should be heads. The spelling mistake is that it is written as legs. It is heads. And 136 legs. Find the number of deer and human visitors in the park. So we don't know how many human and deer visitors are there. It's a deer park, so deers are there in that park, and humans are just going to see them. So both human and deer has got one head. So we can say that the number of heads of human and deer is 41. That is clearly given. We are taking number of humans as x and number of deers as y. So the numbers will coincide with the number of heads. So x plus y is 41 because total heads is 41. Now second case, a human being has got 2 legs whereas a deer has got 4 legs. So when you multiply number of legs, 2 legs into number of humans plus 4 into number of deers, that will give you the total number of legs that were counted. That is 136. So this equation has a 2x, this equation is only x. So I can make this 2x by multiplying equation 1 throughout by the number 2. So we get 2x plus 2y is 82. So therefore when you subtract equation 1 minus 2, the 2x goes and here you get 2y is equal to 54 or y is equal to 27. So the number of deers you got, the number of deer is 27 deers are there. That is what you have taken y as. After that we substitute y is 27 in equation 1. So you will get x is equal to 14. So the number of humans will be x, which is 14. 14 humans will be there. So that's question number 3 and 4. Copy it down in your notebook. We continue with question 5. See now in the fifth sum, it is like a practical example. When you enter a rickshaw or a taxi, there is a fixed charge. Even if you are just going, let's say 100 meters, They will charge you the minimum charge for the rickshaw, that is 20 rupees they will charge you. And for every additional kilometer that you go, you have to pay as per how much kilometer you have actually traveled. So in the fifth sum they tell a taxi charges in a city consist of a fixed charge together with the charge for the distance covered. If the person travels 10 kilometers, the charge paid would be 315. So let's first say there is a fixed charge of X rupees and the charge per kilometer is Y. So obviously if he goes 1 kilometer, he will pay X and he will also pay Y. 1 into Y, because he has traveled 1 km. The moment you sit in the taxi, you have to pay the rupees X, irrespective of how much you go. And if you go 1 kilometer, then you will pay, or half kilometer, whatever, you will pay X only. And Y will be 1. So in the next case, let's say he has traveled 10 kilometers. So in case he travels 10 kilometer fixed charge, he has to pay X. Plus over and above that, he will pay Y into 10 because he has traveled 10 kilometers. So that is what is the first case, that is he travels 10 kilometers and his bill comes to 315. So the fixed charge is there as it is and the charge per kilometer is 10 rupees per kilometer, so 10Y, that will add up to 315. Now the second case is, if he was to travel 15 kilometers, then he would pay 465. So he travels 15 kilometers means the fixed charge remains as it is, plus 15 into Y gives you 465. So therefore, when you do equation y1 minus equation 2, so x and x will get cancelled and you get minus 5y is equal to minus 150. So minus sign gets cancelled, y will be 30. So for every extra kilometer that you go, for 1 kilometer that you travel, you will have to pay rupees 30. So that is why 10 times 30, 300, plus the fixed charge of rupees, whatever you are going to find it, that is 15, has to be paid if you was traveling 10 kilometers. So once you got y, you substitute it in any equation, you will get x, that is 15. So fixed charge is x, that is rupees 15, and the charge per kilometer is y, that is rupees 30. So amount to be paid. Now they have asked you one extra question. Generally students will find x and y, they will be happy, they will write the answer and they forget the last part which is also asked. So make sure that you are reading it properly and the last part of the question is not missed out. So if the person is traveling 32 kilometers, then x plus 32 into y. So he will pay 15 plus 32 into 30, that is 15 plus 960, so 975 rupees. Don't forget to put the rupee sign, don't leave it as 975. So that was sum number 5. Now next sum, we'll go on to sum number 6. In sum number 6, it is given that a man invested a certain amount of money in two different schemes, A and B. There are two schemes and they offer the interest at 8% and 9% respectively. So interest is given at 8% per annum and 9% per annum respectively. He received 1860 rupees as interest. However, if he had interchanged the amount of investments in the two schemes, so in the first case he is getting 8% of his investment as interest. This is interest in scheme A. And in the second scheme he is getting 9%. So 9% on his investment of rupees y. That is the total interest that he gets, that is 1860 rupees. Now in the second scheme, what he has done, he has interchanged the amount invested. So in A, if it is y, so 8% he is getting on y. The interest that he gets inverted. It is given that, however, if he interchanges the amount of investment in the two schemes. So now in the second scheme he is investing X, that is in scheme B. and in scheme 1 he is investing Y. This is scheme A. So 8% of interest he is putting Y rupees now. So we can say that this is net money invested originally, and here also money invested originally, not after interchanging. So the first condition is based on the original investment, that is 8% on X rupees and 9% on Y rupees, and this is after interchanging 8% on Y rupees and 9% on X rupees. That gives him 20 rupees more as interest. That is not 20 rupees interest. He was getting 1860, now he is getting 1880, 20 rupees more. So once you have written this, then the sum is very simple. Now you know we have already done sums in which the coefficients are just interchanging. Here it is 8x upon 100, here it is 9x upon 100. Same way, y here it is 9y upon 100 and here it is 8y upon 100. So what do we have to do in such cases? First, we add these two things up. When you add the two equations up, you will get 17x plus 17y. The whole thing upon 100 is 1860. So 17x plus 17y, the whole thing upon 100 is 1860 plus 1880, that is 3740. This is the first case. Once you have cross multiplied, then you have to divide it by 17. So you will get x plus y is equal to 22,000. That will be called as equation number 3. So what did you do first? You did equation 1 plus 2. Why did you do this? Because we have solved sums in non-word problems also. Like if you have sums like 35x plus 21y is equal to something, and then you change it and 21x plus 35y is equal to something, then the method for this is you add the two equations first and get a simple equation x plus y is equal to something, and then you do the minus and then you get x minus y is something. That's the form of equation that you get. Here what is different? Here it was 35 with x, here it is 35 with y. Here it is 21 with x, here it is 21 with y. So when such sums comes, remember first add the two and then you are doing equation 1 minus equation 2. So 8x minus 9x will become minus x. Minus 1x, that can be written as minus x. And 9y minus 8y will be 1y. So that will be plus y. Upon 100, when you do minus of this, you get minus 20. 1860 minus 1880 is minus 20. So now when you cross multiply, you will get minus x plus y is equal to minus 2000. So this is one equation 4 and this is equation 3. They are very simplified equations now. All you need to do is add these so that x gets cut. You will get 2y is equal to 20,000. So your y is 10,000. So the amount he originally invested in scheme B is rupees 10,000. Now if you substitute this in any equation, let's say you substitute it in equation 3, you will get x is equal to rupees 12,000. So in our final answers, we have to mention the unit, that is rupee. Money invested in scheme A is x, that is rupees 12,000, and the money invested in scheme B is y, that is rupees 10,000. So that was question 5 and question 6. We go on to the next sum. So the last sum for this video today, we will stop at question number 7 today. So it's given that in an examination the number of passes to failure is 4:1. So that doesn't mean there were 4 people who passed and 1 person who failed. It is multiplied by some common multiple x. So there could be 10 times 40 and 10, it could be 80 and 20, it could be 120 and 30, we don't know. But the ratio we know 4:1. So we have to take x as the common multiple. So number of students who passed will be 4x and number of students who failed will be 1 into x, the denominator. So the total number of students will be 4x plus 1x, that is 5x. That is what is finally asked, how many students wrote the exam. So we have to find what is 5x. Now you are given one condition, had 30 students less appeared for this test. So how many appeared? 5x. So from that, if you remove 30, had 30 students less appeared for the test, that is the new number of students who appeared for the test. So it is 5x minus 30. Then new number of students who would have passed would have been 20 less than the original case. So originally 4x passed. So now the number of students who passed would be 4x minus 20. So now this means how many students would have failed? Total minus number of students who passed would give you the number of students who failed. So 5x minus 30, that is the total number of students, minus 4x minus 20, that is the number of students who passed. This gives us x minus 10. This is the number of students who failed as per the second condition. Now you are given that the ratio of the students who passed, 4x minus 20, upon the number who failed, that is x minus 10, is 5:1. The new number of students who passed upon the new number of students who failed is 5:1. So this ratio is given. So when we cross multiply, we get x is 30. So once we get x is 30, so we have to substitute here to find how many students appeared. Originally, the total number of students who appeared will be 5x, that is 5 into 30 or 150 students. So we will stop there and we will discuss some of the homework sums when we do meet for the Zoom lecture. We will discuss some of the homework sums. So copy till here, that is till the word problem, sum number 7. Bye students.